This is the new Arc-geo Mini logger. I have it on top of my pulse induction. It's very small. It can transmit up to 100 yards line of sight. When you turn the unit on, it's built in software. As you adjust your threshold on your detector or your instrument, the logger will beep, a steady beep. You want to put it right on that threshold of beep and not beep, but you just want to get it beeping. And then after you have that set, you press the done button. Just will make sure that it's just on the edge of that beep. And then you press the done button and it'll go into ground balance. So you want to be holding your instrument ready for ground balance once you press the done button. Once you set up your software, start logging, then you can start down your first row. The way it works is you don't have to guess how many seconds it takes to walk this line. You just press log, and when you get to the end of the first line, you press done. You'll hear 2 beeps, and that distance is stored. You don't have to worry about how many seconds to set for each line anymore. And then you just walk back. This is a one direction log. It's not a zigzag, it's a one direction. And then when you get back, the beginning of your next line, all you have to do is hit log when ready, walk your same speed, and when it gets to the end of the line, it'll go ahead and beep twice, showing that you're at the end of that line, your second row. So there's no more how many seconds is this, or pre-walking it to see how many seconds a line is. You just log it. So you're in complete control. You can do as many X and as many Y as you want. You can make your grid as large as you'd like. There's no limit. Okay, here I just fast forwarded to my last row. At the end of the row, it will beep twice, indicating end of row. And the distance on this module that I'm using supposedly is 1,000 meters line of sight. But I've logged stuff up to 100 yards away with no problem. It's really a very powerful transmitter receiver combination. So when you finish your row and you have your 2 beeps, you press the done button here. It's going to complete the grid and send back a string. The string will have information like how long was each row in seconds, and it's going to tell you how many pulses per second, which was 5. Tell you how many rows you did. Then just go to your computer and stop your log, save it, and get ready for your next grid. This is the new Mini. It's very small, compact, easy to carry. This is log and start, off and on button, analog 0 to 5, and VCO switch. End plot, done button, and the module's built in with the transmitter receiver, and of course you have your input, and this is the receiver that plugs into your computer. Very small, very compact. You put a little Velcro on it and stick it to anything you have. 2 box, VCO, gradiometer. I use a program that's called Voxler. It's free online. I'm going to show you a demonstration using a generator as our signal source, taking the place of a metal detector. And we're going to go ahead and turn the unit on and then test the input adjustment for threshold. What we do is we go ahead and adjust the detector until we hear fast beeps from the logger. We want to get it just on that edge where we have beeps and then we don't have beeps, and just bump it up till we have beeps and keep it there. Once we have the beeps, then we want to press the done switch on the button on the right, and what that's going to do is start the ground balance, which you should be holding your detector in place. It's going to hit a long beep, 2 beeps, and 3 beeps, and then it'll be ready to start logging. Then it's just a matter of getting your software ready. So you want to go to logging setup and you want to create a file. You can name this the plot, the area you're at, the city you're at, whatever you want. You can go in and determine where you want to store it at, if you want to put it in a particular folder or just put it in documents itself is what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to name it test, and we're going to save it there. Hit OK. So if you see right here, it says logging started. So now we're going to press the log button. Now this unit is high resolution. I'm actually sending 5 samples per second. So what that does is create a very high resolution plot. Now we're going to pretend we're at the end of our grid, and I hit done. Well, not our grid, but our line, our first line. That stores the distance. When you're ready to log, you hit log again. It starts logging. When I bring the volume up, you can see the numbers going up. And it stops automatically at this first line setting. So every time you come back and you hit log again, it automatically stops. You don't have to worry about, like I said before, how many seconds on this line. Just walk it first line, hit done, and it's complete. When your plot is completely done, you hit end plot, and it sends this information. Tells you how many seconds your string was, which is 6. You had 3 rows and some other information there. And then you just go in your software, stop. It's going to say logging stopped. And then if you want, you can bring it up, find it where you saved it, and delete those 2 top, the top and the bottom, where you just have your data string, and then save that grid and name it whatever you want to name it. Once you do that, you'll be ready to do your next plot. There's your information. I'm just going to delete this line, which actually you don't have to delete, but if you don't delete it, you have to skip it when you load it into your software for viewing. And that's it. You go up, right click, clear screen, you're ready for your next log. The data can be imported into Voxler or Surfer or any other plotting software like Rockworks.